afternoon, Francois. This is Fergus from Action Coach Fergus Moore. Thank you for joining us on the call. Welcome to Chat with Fergus. Francois Nel, business export experts in South Africa. And over to you, Francois. Welcome to the show.
Hi, good afternoon, Fergus. Thank you for the opportunity to speak to you.
Francois, talk to me. Tell us about your story. How did you end up in this business, and how did you get involved with imports and exports?
Fergus, I've always had a passion for imports and exports, and I've been in the industry for about 18 years, and I decided to start my own business about a year and a half ago, where I took the big leap to go into self-employment and to really try and create a better service culture in South Africa by doing imports and exports smarter and more cost effective. And when the COVID-19 hit, I was very fortunate to be one of the industries where I could really help people in South Africa import and export their product correctly.
Wow, that's interesting. And Francois, tell us a bit about your experience, and where did you get all the knowledge and experience from?
Fergus, I studied a diploma at the IMM Graduate School of Marketing. I studied an export diploma in imports and exports, and I studied my BCom degree at UNISA in operations and supply chain. But the biggest experience I gained in the industry was by practically working in the industry and by gaining practical work experience. I was very fortunate to work under people that really taught me the ins and the outs of the industry, especially when it came to customs, imports and exports, as well as ocean and air logistics. Very fortunate to go and learn, especially how Africa works and how the ins and outs of Africa works in terms of operations. Yes, that's basically that in a nutshell.
Well, great stuff, Francois. And how many years are you involved in the export business?
I've been in the industry for about 18 years and a great journey. You know, every day has been challenging and no single day has been the same. You know, that's why I don't have any hair left because of all the stress and all of the anxiety that I face every day. But I'm not scared of any storm. You know, I take any storm, I take head on and I take it in my stride. And my biggest thing that I do is I decide to plan for the uncontrollable and to make sure that the controllable is planned for. So then everything goes smoothly as far as possible.
Fantastic. Francois, who are the partners in the business with?
So we are three big role players. It's myself. I head up the operational team and I manage the imports and the exports and all African imports and exports. And I've got a financial director in my team that basically handles all of the financial aspects and all of the SARS imports and exports things. And then my father is also one of my partners that handles all the bits and bobs of the day-to-day stuff. But I've also have one or two or three people that handles my key accounts, looks after certain clients for me, and also handles basically the quotations and all of the logistics for me.
Tell me more about your ideal customer. If you can choose who your ideal customer could be, describe him for me, and how would you know that somebody is an ideal customer for you?
Ideal customer for me would be somebody with a passion for their product, somebody that trusts their product in and out, somebody that's developed their product themselves, somebody that knows that their product's going to succeed, somebody that will stick with their product and that will not be scared of criticism in the market. You know, a lot of people, they're wanting their product to succeed, but they're not willing to spend the elbow grease to get their product out there into the world. I'm the type of guy, I work long hours and I make sure that my customers are always happy and that my customers always receive the best service that they can get. And I expect the same from my ideal customer. My ideal customer, he'll do the extra mile to make sure that his product gets to the market as quickly and as cost effectively as possible.
Francois, if I have a business today and I'm not already involved in import and export, is this something that you would look at to help me find a market to determine whether I have a customer base or a potential customer base overseas? And is this the kind of thing that you'll be able to assist me with?
So my main focus would be arranging the operational logistics. So in other words, to make sure that your product gets from South Africa to the rest of the world, or let's say, from Europe into South Africa. That is my main focus. My main focus is making sure that your product gets where it needs to be. Also, to arrange the customs imports and exports number for you to make sure that you've been a business for years and years, your VAT has been cleared, and you're registered as a company. Now you need to make sure that your imports and export number is sorted. That is the kind of things that I focus on, is cost effectively moved from point A to point Z.
Great. Yeah, I think in the COVID time now, it is quite relevant to perhaps consider the export market. And if you could land the export contract, you are the kind of guy who can actually make that happen, right?
Absolutely. You know, my biggest passion at this stage, except for imports and exports, is setting South Africans up for success, you know, being there to make things happen, being there in the face of, I've got this dream of moving my wooden motorcycle overseas. How do I get it there? And doing things that you've never thought possible, you know, and that is what I do. You know, I connect the dots from point A to point Z. You know, you just need to be passionate about your product and make sure that you give the best product that the world can receive. Something like rooibos tea, I said in an earlier presentation, I said to people, rooibos tea is a product that the whole world needs to consume. And if something truly South African at the best possible quality is shown to the world, we can only be successful. And I'll be here to hold people's hands and to make sure that their strategies for imports and exports are in place and that all the planning has been done.
What was the biggest impact that COVID-19 had on your business, Francois?
The biggest impact on my business is I quickly realized that business needs to be more digital. I had a lot of face-to-face meetings before COVID. After COVID, my meetings became largely digital, making sure that your product is on the World Wide Web, making sure that your image of your product and service is correct on the World Wide Web, to make sure that people see your product the way you want them to see it, not the other way around. It's almost to say that you've got a perception of your product, but you don't know if the perception is only the way you see it or the way other people see it. It's very important that you create the correct perception in the World Wide Web.
You know, they say that smart people learn from their mistakes, but wise people learn from the mistakes of other people. What mistakes did you make along the way? How can other people learn from those mistakes? What mistakes did you make along the way? How can other entrepreneurs learn from those experiences?
My biggest mistakes I made is not getting involved in business quicker, not believing in myself quicker, you know, not being bolder, not standing up for my business earlier, you know. And I've got a saying that a small company can give the same, if not better service than a larger company. And I've came to realize that my company can give the same service than a big one can. And I'm not scared of bigger companies anymore. I'm not scared of failure, because failure is part of learning. And being scared of failure is one of the biggest mistakes you can make. Because COVID has done one thing, it stripped us of everything. So when you have nothing, you've got nothing to lose, and then you've got everything to gain. And once you have everything to gain, then you need to make sure that you plan for your success. And when you plan for your success, you aim for only one thing, it's victory. And that's one of the things that I share with my clients, because my clients are very personal to me. I give personal service, and I make sure that they receive their product receive the respect that is due to their product.
So what do you know about business coaching? And have you ever considered business coaching to help you navigate through this challenging times?
Yes, I definitely have. And I've also realized the benefit of business coaching. You know, having a business coach is like making sure that you are heading in the right direction. You know, if I put it in perspective of my industry, if a vessel only goes off course by half a degree, then it will end up in the totally incorrect place. And I believe that a business coach is exactly that, making sure that you stay on course and making sure that you work smarter and not necessarily harder.
Francois, now I would like the listeners, the people watching this recording, to be able to get hold of you. Just share with us your website and telephone number and anything else you want to share with us about your business?
The name kind of says it all. Go onto Google, www.import-export-experts. We're on Google, Facebook, Instagram, Twitter. But more importantly, send me a mail, francois@import-export-experts.co.za, or you can phone me on my mobile 078-879-7410. I believe that passion and skill creates perfection, and if you have passion and skill, you can overcome any hurdle in business and in life. And my business is exactly that, a company that believes that passion creates perfection.
How awesome is that? Francois, lastly, what has been the most inspiring to you today?
Today, getting up today is one of my biggest inspiring moments. Not wasting time. My biggest inspiration was being able to live my life today, the 28th of July, and the opportunities that lie before me every day. Not wasting time, making sure that you do what you need to do today. Being there for people around you. And one thing is, changing the world is done by a lot of small things. You don't need to go and change the world by doing big things. A lot of small things can make a big difference. And that's the things that makes me very excited and passionate about every day.
Francois, thank you so much for joining us today on Chat with Fergus, Import Export Experts. I'm so happy that you were able to join us in this call, and all the best with your business. Bless you, be safe, and let me know how things go on your side. Stay in touch, and thank you very much, Francois Nel from Import Export Experts.